next one we've got on this list, Ron, is heads down. Talk me through that.
So what I've seen is, especially with new service managers, is they become so operationally focused. They're looking at closing every day's gaps. Okay, I'm unable to take care of this customer quickly enough, or I have this issue, or I've got to attend these meetings. And what tends to happen is, if you allow yourself to just sort of focus on your team and your daily operations, you sort of drift yourself out of alignment with the rest of the organization. You can, anyway, in terms of priorities, in terms of, from quarter to quarter, are you paying attention to what the rest of the organization is paying attention to? And so, I term that putting your head down. You're just sitting down and you're looking at what's coming across your desk and taking care of those things. You have a strong obligation in the service organization to make sure you're staying aligned with your sales team. If you lose your sales team and their confidence, you're dooming yourself and your team. Service is already hard enough, I'd say, I think, to get full credit for everything that gets done, because everybody sees the failures, and the sales team needs to have your back. So I would say, keep your head up, and especially as a manager, look around, make sure that the key players of the sales team, but I wouldn't say only sales. You need to make sure that you're staying aligned with other parts of the organization as well. The HR, the finance groups. If marketing's a key player in your organization, there as well. And I kind of view it, Kris, as if you're ignoring some part of the organization and they're misunderstanding what you're doing. And as I said, people tend to focus on the shortcomings. What happens is I picture it like a balloon. There's like this pressure growing somewhere in the organization. And if you're not going around and having those conversations and building the relationships and gaining that alignment, that pressure builds and eventually that balloon pops. And the thing is, when the balloon pops, you don't know it. I've seen this a few times over my career. You don't know it, but change is being forced upon you and your organization, and you don't necessarily understand why. And nobody's really all that candid about what's going on. And so, making sure that you're keeping your heads up and you're staying aligned is just really important for your health and for your ability to deal with your organization's health and manage that as well.
Yeah, and it's almost something of it's a natural byproduct that in field service, and especially as we touched on, many of us coming from engineering backgrounds, every day is different, and we're used to putting out fires. As an industry, we're always putting out fires, and it's hard. I think the one thing that I would take from that, Ron, is the importance of making that space for yourself to step away and take that helicopter view, take the 30,000 foot view, speak to the other people. I like the balloon analogy. I'd add to it a little bit. I don't know if you know the modeling balloons. Of course, when you have a modeling balloon, if you squeeze one side, the other end gets a lot bigger, and suddenly you put all the pressure at one end, and then somebody else is going to squeeze back, and it comes all the way back at you. Whereas if you're to continue that analogy, if you're having those conversations, then that pressure is spread evenly across the organization. I'm destroying your balloon, or your excellent balloon-based analogy. I apologize, but I think it's a really, really important point. Collaboration. Okay, hopefully you found that really useful as a service leader. That's what our purpose here is to try and help you as a service leader be the best that you can. That's why we've got a library of over 600 hours worth of content. That's why I'm always speaking to some of the best people, the smartest people in the industry. Now, the great news is you can access all of that content. We normally just charge £45 a month or £450 a year, but we're so confident in the value that we provide, we actually offer a trial for anyone that's new to Field Service News, and that is just £9. So if you're in the States, it's roughly $11, $12 at the moment. That's what? A couple of cups of coffee. That will give you 1 month of full access. All 600 hours of content, white papers, research, great conversations like these, Plus, it gives you access to the Field Service New Service Leaders courses, which is over 70 courses designed to help you as a service leader. Now, if you want to take advantage of this, do so quickly, because we only do these offers every now and then, because we can only accept a certain volume of members before we have to kind of make sure everyone's onboarded correctly. So the button down below will say unlock with FSN PRO. Okay, that's the button you click. You'll see a code just beneath that. Click that, take that code with you. The page will open into a new page, and you just pop that code just below, at the bottom, just below the payment section. That'll reduce your price down to £9. You can cancel at any time. So if it's not right for you, and I'll be honest, it usually is, and most people do continue on to have the full membership. But if it's not right for you, that's fine. You can cancel, and you've still got that access. You can still download everything theoretically, but most people find that because we're adding new content every month, it's a hugely valuable service. So take a look below, take advantage of this opportunity right now, and be the best service leader you can. Okay, take care.